Okay, so I'm back today with another one because I wanted to go on what grounding was because I wasn't sure what the hell it was either. You know, you hear all these people talk about, oh, you need to ground, you need to ground. Well, okay, does anybody really know what grounding is? Because I was under the impression that it was meditation, and as it turns out, it is not meditation. Nay. Contrary to popular belief, it is not meditation, okay? So by definition, grounding is a set of techniques that help you stay present in the moment and connected to reality. It's used to manage anxiety, stress, or overwhelming emotions, okay? Now, pardon the outfit here because your girl's about ready to go to the gym, and I didn't want to do it after I got back from the gym because I would be all nasty and sweaty and gross and all kinds of like sore and stuff and probably very tired. So these are things that you can do when you're grounding. You focus on your breathing. You notice what you hear, see, and feel around you. You hold on to a physical object to bring your attention to the present. And basically what it does is it decreases spiraling thoughts and it keeps your mind anchored. Now, simple grounding techniques are, okay, so there's the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method, which is you notice 5 things that you can see. You notice 4 things that you can touch, 3 things that you can hear, 2 things that you can smell, and 1 thing that you can taste, okay? So you go slowly and you don't rush it. The point is to fully notice your environment and the things around you. And this kind of brings you back to center. It brings you back to where you are in the moment, okay? Now, physical grounding is good when emotions feel intense or when your mind won't stop racing. And you can try just like pressing your feet firmly into the ground, holding ice or like a glass of cold water. Wrapping yourself in a blanket, probably a weighted blanket would be better, I'm thinking. I don't know. Stretching your arms, your neck, or your shoulder very slowly. And basically what it is any kind of physical sensation can interrupt your emotional overload surprisingly well, okay? And the other one is breath grounding. And a calm nervous system starts with slower exhaling, okay? So you basically inhale for 4 seconds, you hold for 2 seconds, and then you exhale for 6 seconds, okay? And longer exhales to yourself basically signifies safety to your body, okay? And then you do this for about 1 to 2 minutes. Then you focus on an object. Got my object right here. My headphones I got from the textile shop. So you pick one object near you and you study it carefully. And what you're going to notice about this object is the texture, the shape, the color, the weight, and tiny details that you otherwise wouldn't notice normally, okay? And this trains your attention to anchor instead of shift, okay? And the other one is verbal grounding, and you can quietly say, I am here. I am safe right now. This feeling will pass. I can experience emotion without being controlled by it. And this helps when you're angry. This helps when you're feeling your anxiety start to spiral. This helps with intrusive thoughts. This helps with all that good stuff. And it's not magical affirmations, but it reminds you, but rather it's reminders to do this to orientate yourself in reality, okay? And grounding is especially important with shadow work and when asking deep inner questions, okay? And a lot of people dive hard into intense introspection, spirituality, or emotional excavation without learning how to return to stability afterwards, okay? Grounding is what keeps the self-exploration from turning into emotional floating or disassociation. It's less blocking spiritual... I'm sorry, I can't even talk. So it's less blocking spiritual experiences and more as creating a stable foundation so you can explore yourself without losing center, okay? And when to ground, because I asked this question too. I was like, well, when do you ground? So I've got like a whole, I don't know, you can't see it, but like I got a whole stack of books that I poured through today. When to ground, you ground when you notice you are becoming emotionally, mentally, and physically disconnected from the present moment. And signs are, like this: racing thoughts, feeling emotionally overwhelmed, anxiety or panic, feeling numb or not real, obsessive spiraling, anger that's just building and building and building, getting lost in fantasy, fear, or intrusive thoughts. And that's a big one for some of you spiritual baddies, you know. Feeling off or scattered or uncentered. And a lot of people wait until they're already overwhelmed, and it works better when you catch it early. And so when is a good time to do it? Well, glad you asked. Good times to do it would be before any type of stressful situations, such as a difficult conversation. Like when you know you got to break up with somebody, so it's a good time to ground before you break up with somebody, I guess, you know? Work stress, social situations that you know you're going to be like spiraling in. Shadow work, meditation, or tarot, divination, or journaling. Those are all good times to do it before you do those things. And for those of you that thought meditation is grounding, no, it's not. Meditation is not grounding. Meditation is the opposite of grounding. You do grounding before and after you do this, okay? So yeah, you do grounding before you meditate, and you do grounding after you meditate. It's good to do that. So grounding beforehand helps you stay steady instead of getting swept away emotionally. And it's good to do it during emotional intensity. So if you notice your chest tightening, you've got rapid breathing, your anger's rising, you're dissociating, you're having spiraling thoughts. So the object is not to suppress, but to stay connected enough to process it safely. And then anytime after deep emotional or spiritual work. And this is important, and it's often ignored. It's especially important to do it after meditation. Trauma processing, shadow work, intense crying, yes. Emotionally heavy conversations, long periods of introspection, and your nervous system can feel raw and overstimulated after these things. So it's always good to do grounding after you do those things. And it basically helps your mind and body come back to center. It comes back to reality. And simple things to help, and this is all part of the grounding process. Eating something nourishing. Cooking can help. Actually, cooking can be part of a grounding exercise. Taking a shower, walking outside, touching something outside, like nature, a tree, rocks, things like that. Listening to calming music. No, Korn does not count as calming music. Stretching, focusing on ordinary tasks such as cleaning, cooking, yard work, even exercise can count. And when you feel disconnected from reality or yourself, such as floating, feeling detached, feeling like nothing is real, and then, all my spiritual baddies out there, this is a good one, getting consumed by symbolism and spiritual meaning in everything. So not everything is a sign, people. Not everything is a sign. You don't need to be like thinking that, you don't need to be like thinking that everything is a sign, because not everything is. So grounding helps reestablish balance between inner experience and external reality. Now I'm going to cut this off right here, and I'm going to continue into a part 2.